I guess, what are you expecting as you guys take the floor and begin that match with Mercer?
Well, I've said several times when I first started here, we had about 50 people in the stands. And so I guess this is a return to my roots a little bit, if you will. So it won't be totally not normal for me, but maybe this is to ground me a little bit after that amazing showing we had in the NCAA tournament last year. So it'll be different, but our kids are just going to be so excited to see somebody across the net and have the opportunity to play a meaningful match that it's my hope that we will generate our own energy, and I definitely believe we will.
When we talked, I think it was probably about a month ago now, right after the season got moved to the spring, we didn't really know what was going to happen in the fall at that point. You said you wanted to maybe play some scrimmages or whatever. This is a match that's going to count towards the 2020-2021 record. I guess, how did this come together, and is there hope for more matches like this later in the fall?
Yeah, well, it's been really difficult. It is incredible how all over the board everybody in college volleyball is. There's certain leagues that are playing exclusively in the spring. There are certain leagues that are playing half of their conference season this fall and half of it in the spring. There are certain schools that have already played 4 or 5. Mercer, we're going to be their 4th or 5th match that they've already played this year. And so as we started looking for matches, it was really difficult. There are not that many people playing, and the ones that are playing, the vast majority of them are exclusively playing within their conference. And so the coach at Mercer, Dex Schrader, is a personal friend of mine. He and I have known each other for a long time, and so we literally just started calling around to find out who might be interested in playing, and they were looking for matches. And, with him being a personal friend as well, it kind of makes it a little bit easier from a communication standpoint to kind of get some of the kinks worked out and make sure that this is something that's going to be beneficial for both of us.
I know you mentioned playing some of those scrimmages, the red and white scrimmages. As someone that grew up playing sports, those are always fun, but there's nothing quite like playing an actual opponent. I guess, what did you see from those scrimmages, and how important was it to get a competitive match so you're not going a full calendar year without competing?
Yeah, it was really, really important. Those were 2 very beneficial days, and, gave us an opportunity to get a lot of stuff on film. I think we learned a lot. The Monday after those scrimmages were really, really big days in our program, I think, because it allowed us to really sit down and go through film and see where we were struggling some. And, and again, just gave our kids a competitive outlet a little bit, but still there's nothing like playing a real match, in those inter-squad scrimmages. There's a winner and a loser on every play, and all of them are wearing WKU. And, so, it's hard to walk out of there feeling really, really good as a coach, but certainly there were opportunities for growth. And, this has worked out pretty well. We had a couple of those, and I think those were exciting for our kids to play. But now this is kind of the next step where we go out and play a real match and see where we are. And that I can't say any more descriptively than that, see where we are, because, the teams that have played volleyball this fall already, when you look at the results around the country, it's literally all over the map. The Louisville team that beat us in the second round of the NCAA tournament returns essentially their entire roster and lost their first match at home in 3 last week. And, a Pittsburgh team that's hadn't lost an ACC game in 2.5 years, lost 2 ACC games in 2 days. And those are both quality teams and really, really well-coached teams. And, it's just, this is uncharted. And so I have no idea what we'll get on Saturday. There'll certainly be some good and there'll be some bad. And my hope is there's more good than there is bad, I guess.
And I know you just got done saying that you'll see what happens Saturday, but throughout those 2 scrimmages from a volleyball standpoint, what did you see that you did like, that you think you can build on, and what do you think needs some improvement?
Yeah, well, it's just, again, it's just going to be really nice to have everybody on the same side of the net, because they're split up. And so I don't think we'll have great continuity. It probably won't be, I'd say there'll be some breakdowns in communication and things of that nature because we just simply haven't been on the same side of the net with each other enough. And, earlier in the fall, I felt like defensively we were way ahead of where we were offensively. And lately I feel like we're starting to close that gap. We're one of the better teams in the country from an offensive standpoint. And we certainly haven't played that way for a lot of the fall, but we seem to be kind of putting some of those things together, and it's my hope that Saturday's the day that we do that.
I know you talked about Mercer playing a few matches already. They had the Citadel in their opener, I believe, and then Georgia State, and then I believe they play the Citadel again tonight. What do you expect from those guys? I know you said you're friends with their coach as well.
Yeah, his teams always play really, really hard. They're a high energy team. They're going to make us make plays, and that's one of the things that's concerning, I guess, when you're coming right out of the gate in your first match in 9 or 10 months. Is I tell our team a lot. Before you win, you have to not lose, and and we need to make sure that we go out there and make them earn what they get, because they're going to be a team that just we're going to be more physical than they are, but they're a team that's going to just scrap and fight and keep that thing in play and wait for us to make mistakes. And so it's going to be important that we have a level of discipline in terms of how we do things. And so hopefully that's what we get.
And I know you talked about the schedule and how hard it's been to put things together. This is the only one that's on the schedule online right now. Is it tough to get a team prepared for a game not knowing when the next one's going to be, or do you think that helps things, or what the way that the spring ended too helps things, or how do you approach that?
We're hopeful to get at least one more this fall. Nothing's set in stone yet, but we're hopeful to at least get one more, hopefully toward the end of our training block here in the fall, just to kind of round things out a little bit. But, our kids, they need to play, desperately need to play. They need the validation of all their hard work. They need to, see where we can be better. And because, this is about growing every day, and, that spring season will be upon us really quickly. And so some days it feels like it's forever away, and some days it feels like it's right around the corner. And this is going to be very valuable regardless of outcome on Saturday. It's going to be very valuable tape to dissect. And I think it'll really kind of point us in the right direction in terms of getting better, based on how it goes, good or bad.
Are you expecting everybody to be available Saturday from a playing standpoint?
Yeah, we've been really healthy. We've avoided all that kind of stuff for the most part. I mean, we tested this morning. We'll see what it looks like, but we've kept them. Our medical staff has done a great job in terms of kind of keeping everybody, safe as much as possible and distanced and doing all the right things. And so, we tested this morning. This world we live in, right? Like we could have a whole bunch of players in uniforms on Saturday, or we could shut this thing down, like the Titans, I guess. It's a crazy world we live in, but we'll just continue to roll with it.
Hi, Coach Hudson. This is Cassie from the Herald.
Hi, Cassie.
So I have a question. After almost 10 months of not playing competitive matches, what are you most looking forward to this Saturday?
Watching the film afterwards is probably what I'm most looking forward to, because it's the part I like. The part I like is getting better. The part I like, and we need to see where we are. And I don't know that you can truly ever see that playing against yourself. And other than that, Cassidy, probably just seeing smiles on our kids' faces, just seeing them, go out there and have some joy in their heart to play the game that they love, because, it's been a really, really difficult stretch for them. And I'm really proud of how they've kind of hung in there and stayed together and just kind of rolled with what's gone on. But, just to see the bright lights come on and them to have an opportunity to play the game that they all love so much is going to be the best part of Saturday.
And you mentioned an update on the team's health. Is there anything else that we should know?
No, until we get closer to, to Saturday, and we get, again, our team was tested today, and we should get those results back pretty soon. But until we get those, it's full go right now until we hear otherwise. We've been having some good practices lately, and I know our kids are really excited to get on the court.